Hey everyone, it's me again. Today's session is going to be really exciting because I'm going to be talking about growth strategy. Um, First off, before I kick off the session, quickly, I'd love some feedback from all of you. So you've been seeing some of the videos. Most of it has been me speaking to webcam. I'm curious to hear if other people prefer a different style of videos, maybe with slides, maybe with animation. Let me know, and I'd love to get some help if you prefer doing animation and you think you know someone who might be able to do those animations for me. All right, so after today, as you can see, my face is looking a lot better. It's healing up right now, so that's good to hear. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about growth strategy. I think growth strategies are interesting because if you've read the book, The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, he talks a bit about the different engines of growth. And I remember reading the book and not quite understanding the concept at the time. So I thought I'd go into some details to talk a bit about how different growth strategies apply to different companies. So first off, growth strategies are important to understand in sales because that will help affect how you sell and how you market to your customers. The three main engines of growth, according to Eric Ries, are the paid engine of growth, the viral engine of growth, and the sticky engine of growth. So I'll go into all of those in a bit detail. Do note that not all of them are independent strategies. So on occasion, you'll see some companies using a blend of both paid and sticky, or sometimes it's viral and paid. So sometimes you get a mix, or even all three of them. I recommend not trying to do everything at once when you get started. Try to focus on one that is most applicable to your company, and then you can eventually add on all the other engines as well. So first off, the paid engine is the easiest to understand. The paid engine of growth is basically traditional marketing. It's most suitable for products or services whereby your customer can easily understand the inherent value of your product or service just by viewing an ad or seeing a video. So they don't actually have to experience it firsthand in order to get the value for it. The reason why this is very, very important to note is because when you rely on marketing, as you remember in one of the previous videos, I talked a bit about push marketing, you'll find that the paid engine is primarily push marketing. So for push marketing, people need to be able to easily understand the value in order to want to take the next step and follow through. So that's basically the paid engine, simple enough. The viral engine of growth is interesting to note because the viral engine of growth is not viral in the sense of, hey, I'm going to create a viral video, it's going to spread like wildfire. It's more about a type of product or service where your customer has to experience it firsthand in order to really see the value. So good examples for that would be innovative ways of doing things, new ways of solving problems, life-changing programs or consultation services. Those are just a few examples. Those are things where you kind of have to experience it firsthand in order to want to tell other people about it or want to take the next step. So, if I try to drill down into exact examples, you can think, certain clubs. So for example, like Toastmasters. You don't see Toastmasters putting up ads everywhere because people don't really get the value of Toastmasters until they've been to a session, they've seen and experienced it, and then they want to come back for more again or tell their friends about it. So it's driven more by pull marketing strategies, specifically referral programs and word of mouth. So pretty obviously. Another great example is Dropbox. So Dropbox, when they started and when they launched in the early days, they noticed that everything that they tried on the paid marketing side of things yielded minimal results, but somehow they were still growing their user base. So they decided to take a look at what's going on. Why is it the case that all our paid marketing efforts are not yielding results, but still we're adding more and more users? It turns out that people could not really grasp the concept of cloud sharing at the time with Dropbox, because during that time and age, cloud sharing was associated with enterprise service solutions. More like large organizations would use it. So it couldn't really convey the message very well. And they saw that growth was all driven by word of mouth and by users telling other users about it. So what they did then is that they decided to abandon or focus less efforts on the paid marketing side of things and instead focus on building more referral strategies. So for example, they came up with the plan where if you refer a friend, you get 250 megabytes and then your friend gets 250 megabytes additional as well. Things like including referral links in the onboarding emails. So those are all the things that they focus their energies on instead. And that saw them increase signups by a huge 60%. So that was specifically to drill down in the campaign. That was the 250 megabytes extra for both parties. That increased their signups by about 60%. So the key is, if you realize that your product or service is something that cannot be conveyed through simple advertising, then you might want to focus more on a viral engine of growth. So I will speak to this in the next video. I don't want to speak into this in this video, but in the next video tomorrow, I'll actually be talking about how to create and build effective word-of-mouth campaigns. It's actually, all these tips that I've learned is from a book called Contagious by Jonah Breger. So I'll talk about the book summary in it tomorrow. So watch out for the next video. But anyway, so the third engine of growth is the sticky engine of growth. So on a high level, the sticky engine of growth focuses on retention. So it's not really an engine of growth, but when you think about growth from the acquisition side of things, but it is still growth for the company because you're still growing your company. So the premise around the sticky engine of growth is that if you have acquisition and acquisition remains constant. So for example, if you have a program where every month you'll have 10 people signing up for the program, and it's always 10 people. So maybe it's a process, maybe it's driven by sales reps, but you're not trying to scale acquisition or grow through acquisition. But what you do instead is, if acquisition remains constant, if you improve retention, naturally you will still grow. But do note that if it's purely retention, growth is going to be like this. So eventually it will plateau out. So what you do want to do is not only focus on retention, but also increase your ARPU, so average revenue per user, or your LTV, which is your lifetime value per user. So your goal is to get your users not only stay around longer, but to purchase more or even upgrade their packages or their plans or their services. Make sense? So those are the three main engines of growth. Depending on the type of program, you'll find that you are more suitable for one or the other. Sticky engine of growth are great for SaaS companies, great for memberships. So those are just some things to think about. So look forward to the next video tomorrow. It's going to come out and it's going to talk a bit about how to create viral campaigns and build virality into not only your campaigns and marketing side of things, but also your product and how you do sales with it. So that's it.